You're just arriving. Welcome to practice. My name is Laura. The props that you might want to have nearby, yoga blocks, something that could serve as a yoga block, a blanket, and a strap. We'll take a few moments if it's comfortable for you to come to a cross-legged seat. We might be sitting up on a cushion. This is Straggles, who seems to be joining us today. So just take a few moments to settle in, letting the eyes rest. Taking a few moments to explore the breath. Perhaps taking a deep inhale in through the nose and exhale, sighing it out. Releasing it, perhaps audibly. As we settle in, we might start to bring a little movement into all of the fingers and perhaps circling the wrists. If there's any sensitivity, of course, we might just visualize the motion. Make sure you trade sides, trade directions, and then reach one arm up in the air. Go for some lift, some length. We may lean the head to the opposite, the down shoulder. The chin may dip towards the chest, and we may continue with some movement through the fingers. Rebending the elbow, let the arm rest, and perhaps circling that same side shoulder. And let's reverse, go the other way. And then let's pause, checking in. We might have some residual sensation, some echo of that movement, perhaps through the shoulder, the arm, the cheek. Checking in with breath. And at your own timing, bending that second arm, reaching that second arm up in the air, maybe tilting the head opposite. The chin might move in closer to the chest. We may have movement in fingers. We're definitely breathing. And letting that arm release, crown of the head comes back up towards the ceiling, and perhaps we're circling the shoulder around. How does this side feel? We might try out second direction. And then landing. Give yourself a little wobble, finding the breath, noticing perhaps the body's tingles. And we may bring movement back into the fingers and expand both arms. Both arms go wide this time. Movement in fingers, head may nod. And perhaps we spin both thumbs to face up and start to tip the thumbs back. And we may just go back and forth. We might have some intensity of sensation around the wrists, the forearms, maybe the elbows. Maybe we dial the thumbs back and open the palms. Perhaps the arms rise, reaching the arms up in the air, thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. Opening those arms wide, expand the arms, thumbs up, thumbs back. Let's take the arms high, and this time flip the palms to face out. We'll flex the wrist, turn the head to one side, pressing out through the heels of the hands. Let the fingertips come all the way down, landing. We may roll the shoulders together and reverse, roll them in the second direction. Open the arms out, sweep the arms up, flip the palms to face out, turn the chin in the second direction as we press out through the heels of the hands. Let the arms come all the way back down. Resting, palms face up. Give yourself a moment, a tiny yes nod. And then invite one ear to lean towards its shoulder. Maybe we're continuing to find a tiny nod. The chin might tip closer to the chest. Bringing crown of the head high. We may find that tiny nod, yes, thinking about going to the other side. Maybe this side's different, take your time. Leaning second ear towards its shoulder. Maybe a little nod. Maybe the chin tipping in closer to the chest. And the crown of the head may rise. We may rub the hands together, bringing the fingers or even the hands. We might just wrap the hands around the neck, and you could crisscross the forearms if you prefer. We might walk the fingers or circle the fingers around the neck, the side, the back, perhaps finding upper shoulders. We may pin the fingers into a location, tip the head back, and find a little nod. And then releasing. Let's rock on back. Acknowledge which leg you had on top or perhaps in front. Let the legs reach long. Maybe make it a little wiggle through those knees, perhaps press out through the heels. Soften that action and repeat, going back and forth. Draw the toes back towards the knees. Soften, repeat. And then reverse the cross of the legs. So we have second leg now in front or on top. Let's bring that left arm to the opposite side of the chest. And we may just start to slide the elbow back to the left a little bit. And then let the arm reach across the body. We may curl the fingers in, expand the elbow. Going back and forth. And perhaps next time we come over towards the right, we start to support the arm and draw the arm closer to the chest. Nose tip, chin can follow that left thumb. The head may tilt, the chin may tilt down. We may bring the hand back to the chest or the shoulder, support the elbow, starting to slide that elbow up and overhead. Perhaps tipping, leaning the head back. And releasing, letting that arm come down. Maybe it feels good to roll out the shoulders. Let's bring that opposite hand, second hand, maybe right hand to the opposite side of the chest. And let the elbow reach back to the right. And we might just slide the arm back and forth, mobilizing through the fingers as we go, curling the fingers in. And we might start to support the arm. We can keep it dynamic. We can stay with the movement. We may draw the arm in closer to the chest. Chin follows the thumb. The chin may tilt closer to the chest. And sliding that hand back in, starting to support the elbow, sliding the elbow up and overhead. And perhaps tipping the head back. Leaning the head into the elbow instead of chin towards chest. And let's release. Invite both arms down, spinning palms forward. We may bring the arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, turn, twist towards the right. We'll come back up through the middle. Exhale, turn, twist, second side. Inhale, we'll find our way back up through the middle. Thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. Rocking back, extending the legs. Give a little wiggle through the legs. We may circle ankles. We might have ankle music. Circle the other way. And we'll think about taking those twists a little bit further. So we might sit with our feet forward and hands behind the back. Tipping both knees either together or knees separated, pinwheeled over to one side. Maybe you're going to your right. Chin may turn to the right. Head may nod. And then gently coming back through the middle. So knees through the middle. Let the knees tip to that second side, that right hand, second hand's coming around. And we'll gradually find our way back to center. So from our seat, if your floor is very hard and you know you want a little extra padding, feel free to unfurl your blanket, double up your mat. Let's come down onto back body and perhaps bring the knees into the chest. And we might find a little rock side to side, side to side. Below hips, low back. We may reverse the cross of the feet if the ankles happen to be crossed. Just taking a few moments, check in. How does it feel to be on the back body? How are the hips feeling? Uncross the ankles, pull the knees into the chest, and then press the knees wide. Push the knees forward. So if you're using your arms, there's no bend in the elbows, and then bring the knees together. The knees move back into the chest, so if the hands are connected to the knees, the elbows bend. Knees wide, elbows are bent. Arms straight, push the knees away. So finding these frog circles, and then reverse the circles. And let's take a moment to land the left foot and reach that right leg up in the air. Flex point like we did on the ground, but it may feel a little different up in the air. Try out the ankle circles. Rebending, releasing, give yourself a moment, breathing. Noticing the echo within from that movement. Left knee into the chest, leg rises, flex, point, flex, point. Try on the circles again. Try both directions, land the foot. Give yourself a moment. Let's open the arms out towards a T. Turn the chin to one side. Let the eyes rest. Notice how that opposite shoulder, opposite side of the neck may feel. You can always put more bend in that elbow. Let the chin, the nose tip rebound to center. We may find a little rock of the head. Slide the chin to the other side. Take a few moments noticing this shoulder, upper arm, this side of the chest. Maybe we're working the arm closer to straight. Maybe we're inviting more elbow bend. Let's make our way back to the middle. Give yourself a moment just to let everything settle. Let's reach both arms up and overhead, perhaps hooking the thumbs, bringing movement into fingers. We may raise that right heel, right leg up in the air, step the left foot in and gradually release that right leg down to the ground. Lift the left heel away from the floor. Press off the ball onto that left foot. And we might roll back and down, keeping bend in the left knee, left toes, lift, fan, and release. Press down into the ball mound of the foot. The left heel rises. So we're starting to stack left hip on top of right. And rolling back down. You're listening to the right shoulder as well. Peel the heel up. We may pause. We may use that left hand as a kickstand. Starting to extend that up leg. So that may be your left leg. Be mindful of props, water bottles. So we're carefully rolling down and landing the leg. And maybe you came off the mat. I sure did. So we might just scooch back over onto the mat. And make our way up into a Sphinx pose, coming up onto the forearms, the elbows. We might lean a little side to side very slowly. Maybe you prefer to find a spot and just pause and perhaps gradually go deeper. Eventually find the middle and try on the other side. Make sure you're breathing. And we might find the middle and just weave a little side, wind a little bit at center. Pointing the feet, we may crisscross the forearms and support the forehead, or if you prefer, turn the nose to one side. Breathing into belly. We may slide the hands back, lift the sternum. You can have as much bend in the elbows as you like. Pressing back, hips towards heels, finding child's pose. We may creep the fingers a little further forward. We may glide the hips a little bit side to side. And perhaps we slide the hands in, starting to come up to temporarily to a kneeling position. And perhaps we look for more padding for the knees. So tucking padding optionally underneath the knees, find a hands and knee position and send the right foot back. Tuck the toes, pitch back through the heel, rounding the back, chin moving towards chest. Maybe a little nod of the head. Now you can certainly just put the right knee down, but if it's fun for you, you want a little more challenge, step that left foot back and then release right shin, right knee to the ground. Chin towards chest. And perhaps there's a little nod, a little circle of the head. And releasing. Let that knee, both knees land. And we may turn left fingers to point towards the long edge of the mat. We might dial those fingers towards 6 o'clock to point back towards the knee. Just a possibility. So if the fingers are pointing towards 6 o'clock, another way to do this might be to sit up and grab the fingers and press out through the heel of the hand for less intensity, but still it's pretty intense. So we may sit back and let the heel of the hand start to peel up and off the mat. Shifting forward, we may flex the hand in the air. We might very gingerly bring the back of the hand to the ground, work that elbow closer to straight, perhaps movement in fingers. So second side, the right fingers might dial towards the long edge of the mat. We can stop there. We can sit and do it that way instead. We might dial the fingers back towards the knee, towards that 6 o'clock position. We may sit back, letting the heel of the hand start to rise, the thumb maybe rising. And as we shift forward, we may just flex that right hand in midair. We might bring the back of the hand to the ground, back of the hand towards the mat, extending the elbow closer to straight, and eventually releasing. Perhaps we tuck the toes, pedaling the feet, shifting hips. We may send those hips back and high. We may find a little rock, a little sway of the hips side to side. Perhaps a little nod, circle nod of the head. We consider taking a walk, walking the feet up to the hands. You can come all the way up to the top short edge of the mat. Your hands might be on any props you have nearby. Your hands might be on a chair seat or the ground. We may find a little sway of the hips side to side. Beginning to come halfway up, partway up. Putting bend in the knees, we may transition hands onto the thighs. So we're in this kind of high squat, bend in the knees. We've got some bend in the knees here. And we may bring our mirroring left forearm across the thighs, across the lap. Starting to turn, rotate, looking over to the right. Maybe the hips sink a little lower. Right hand may come to the hip. We might reach that right arm high, up in the air. Releasing down, option to extend the legs. Tip on down, give a little nod, circle nod to the head, fan toes, bending the knees. We'll rise part way up, transitioning right forearm across the thighs. And maybe we're starting to turn, twist a little more towards the left. We might bring left hand to the hip or left arm all the way up in the air. Now the nose tip of the gaze doesn't have to go high, it might, but maybe you keep it straight ahead over to the left. We may just pour it out, tipping back down. We might heel toe feet in a little closer, put that bend back in the knees, sink the hips, and perhaps sweep both arms up in the air as we come all the way up to stand. Thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. So let's find left leg and bring your left leg, cross it in front of the right. So that back knee tends to lock out. We might have to be more intentional about putting some bend in the back knee. Left arm may reach up and overhead. We might grab hold of the wrist with the right hand, and we may tip lean over to the right, looking right. Starting to rise up, we might just swap the grip in midair and bring the back leg, make it the front leg now. Check in with that back knee. Toes fanning, tipping, leaning over to left side. We'll come back up through the middle, release the arms, unwind the legs. So choosing a short end of the mat. We'll stand up the top short edge of the mat, spin the palms to face forward. Circle the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. We may keep hands on blocks, right foot forward, left leg reaching back leg. So finding our way into a lunge, little shift forward, little shift back. So maybe you want that knee padding nearby. Maybe you put the knee padding underneath that left knee and drop down. We can spend a little time here. You might prefer to keep the knee off the ground. We may land that left hand and reach the right arm up and overhead, finding that twist. And cycle that top arm overhead. Perhaps we find our blocks and slide the right foot back as much as needed. Lifting left leg forward, bending left knee, cycle left knee out to the left, and perhaps we keep circling from the hip. And we may trade direction, circle, second direction. And then perhaps land the foot, sinking in. Let the chest rise, left foot stays forward, second leg, right leg reaching back leg. Find that lunge, maybe a little shift forward, little shift back. Maybe you decided to drop the knee on the other side and want to give it a try. Look for knee padding if you like it. You might find those little tiny shifts side to side. Perhaps we're lifting that back knee, perhaps we're landing right hand to the ground and cycling left arm up and overhead, finding that lunge twist. We may cycle that top hand overhead. Perhaps we're finding blocks, perhaps we're moving left foot closer to the right to make it easier to load that left leg, tapping, navigating right leg up. Maybe we bend the knee right away, bringing that knee out to the side. We may circle just once in both directions, maybe 3 times. How many times did you do it on the other side? What feels available on this side? Eventually landing, releasing the foot back down to the ground. This time let's return to stand. So we'll come part way up. Perhaps a little rock forward and back through the feet, fanning toes, putting bend into the knees. And we might just come halfway up. If you have a tendency to feel lightheaded coming out of a forward bend, take it slower. The arms may rise, thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. And perhaps we have hands on hips and we're wrapping the elbows back. The shoulder blades may feel like they're moving closer together. So hands on hips is one possibility. You might like grabbing a towel or a strap. Watch out for buckles on straps. And we might hold the strap. Now, if you're holding a strap, your hands might be facing out or they might be facing in. So notice which one you're doing. How does it feel? And if it just feels like you don't love it, try the other way. Does that feel better? If not, maybe you go back to hands on hips. What works for you? So you're welcome to stick with the strap. Maybe what feels great to you is weaving the fingers together, shoulders back. We might even extend the arms. You're welcome to keep knuckles on the back. Let's release whichever version you're in. And if, like me, you've collected all the props in one place, give yourself a little clearance. Let's circle the arms all the way up in the air. We might find a little back bend and exhale, find our forward fold. So lift the heart, right leg stays forward, left leg, again, reaching back leg. So we might shift in and that back knee might come closer to the ground. Maybe you have your knee padding there. The front knee can certainly go beyond that front ankle, but let's check out what the ankle's doing. We might need to reposition that front foot so that the heel can stay on the ground or closer to the ground. Let the hips come high, left heel back, heel is pivoting towards the right. Maybe we walk our hands further forward, peel that back heel up, starting to sink down. We might even lift the hands up onto the block, starting to find a little more back bend. And perhaps we extend that front leg, drop the back heel to the right, roll that right hip back. Let the neck go long. And maybe we go for a little more distance between the legs to one more time, come forward towards that lunge. So the back foot, you might prefer to have the toes pointed. You might prefer to have the toes tucked. I find my knee has a preference. So we're lifting the chest, creating a little bit of back bend here. This can be plenty, maybe a little glide of the head, back of the head moving back. And then let's take it back, lift the hips, land that left heel, working towards landing the heel. We may need to heel toe that left foot a little wider, bending back into front knee. We might spin the blocks up, lift the chest. When you feel ready, we may climb the hands up the back. It feels better for you to lift the back heel. Please do lift the back heel. We might extend that front leg and rebound the knee. Hands could find hips. We may reach both arms up and overhead. Perhaps we grab that left wrist, get a little more lift. Palm, heel of the left hand, maybe reaching up towards the ceiling. Rebending the elbows, let the hands come down. We may find the blocks and slide the right foot back. Consider lifting that left leg. So we may bend the knee and draw the knee, kind of like a flamingo alongside right leg. Optionally, we're going to bend the right knee and tap that left knee behind the lower right leg. The leg may reach up. We may tap. We can also just hold. We don't have to lift and lower. We may lift the leg. We may tap. Maybe we're even crossing a little to the right. We might even put the toes down like a kickstand. So next time we take that leg high, let's bend the knee, cycle the knee out, and land the foot. We may just give a little shift side to side. Let's rise part way up. Left foot stays forward, right leg reaching backward. And again, remember, you're welcome to move that knee padding around, have it where you like it. So we might shift a little further forward, back. Take your time. We might be landing the knee. I'm just saying hello. We may be lifting, maybe we step that right foot in and start to pivot the heel a little bit more to the left, fan the left toes, let the neck get longer. And then perhaps we're moving the hands further forward. We might sink down deeper into the lunge. Take your time. This side might be very different. Maybe you're spinning the blocks up higher, maybe not. When you feel ready, we're re-extending the legs, back heel moving towards the left. Maybe a little nod of the head. One more time. Let's come on down. Maybe we're coming up a little bit higher, just a possibility. What does that back knee prefer? Toes tucked, toes pointed. As you feel ready, we'll rise up. Maybe move the feet in a little closer or a little longer. Tipping in. Maybe heel toeing the feet a little wider so it doesn't feel like you're on a tightrope. We may be heel toeing that right foot further back to lunge into that front knee. Perhaps spin the blocks up a level. Maybe there's another level to go. We might carry the hands onto the thigh or hands onto hips. We may reach the arms up. We may spin right palm to face the right, grab hold of the wrist, press the heel of the hand, hug that left inner leg towards midline. Releasing, letting the hands come down. You may slide that left foot back to make it a little easier to shift the weight forward, peeling that back heel off the ground. Letting that leg rise, letting that leg reach up, bend the knee when you need to. We may bend standing knee and touch the floating knee, perhaps right knee, to the left lower leg, the grounded leg, and we might re-extend. We may tap it down, maybe the toes are touching. Let that leg rise, and maybe one more time. And when the leg comes up, let's bend the knee out to the side, cycle the knee in, and land the foot, tipping it. Perhaps we encircle the big toes, first two fingers and a thumb. Perhaps we slide the palms under the feet, standing on the hands. We may flip the hands, so palms are down and we're standing on the tops of the hands. Letting fingers come forward. Let's put a little bend in the knees, forearms to thighs. Drop the hips. Take your time. We've had the head low. We might be a little lightheaded, rooting to rise. The arms may come all the way up. Thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. So let's check out our spacing on the mat. Maybe we move a prop to either end of the mat so it's available. And we'll step the feet wide. So we might find a little rock forward and back, just playing with the balance there, toes fanning. Find your right leg and turn right toes towards the short edge of the mat, lunging into that front knee, re-extend. Let's sink into the lunge, perhaps forearm onto the thigh, and maybe we heel toe that back leg a little further back, starting to reach perhaps top arm up in the air. We may opt to take that top arm up and overhead on the diagonal. Or perhaps we sink down a little deeper and then rooting down to rise back up, pivoting, right toes in, left toes out, lunging into that front knee and extending. Bend the toes, breathing. So we might find that lunge and we might just go back and forth, bending and extending, or maybe I'm landing in the sun spot there and heel toe back. We might be landing forearm on the thigh and letting that top arm reach up in the air. Maybe top arms coming up and overhead. And let's take a moment to rise all the way back up. Adjust, heel toe the feet in a little. Hinge at the knees, hinge at the hips. Tipping into a wide-legged forward bend. Let the head get heavy. We may glide the hips a little side to side. Perhaps we have hands on a block or two. And we might find left toes, angle left toes more left, starting to bend into that left knee. Go through the lateral lunge. We might come right back up, fan toes, and find the knee bend. And you may find a spot, maybe you're even walking the hands with block hands a little closer to the toes, finding a hold point. And we'll start to come back up, pivot left toes in, right toes out, say hello to that lateral lunge. We might come right back up out of it. And we may find a depth where we're holding for a few more rounds of breath. And then let's slowly re-extend, find the middle, heel toe, feet in. Let's put bend in the knees, coming back up to standing, like maybe you moved blocks around. We might be putting one back at either end of the mat. So stepping feet wide, right toes again, turn towards short edge of the mat, fan the toes. We're going for the lunge, forearm to thigh. We might find a block. Plant the hand on the block and extend that leg. We may raise left arm, top arm up in the air. Perhaps we're looking down. So let's start to rebend the knee. Feel free to take the block with you. If there's just one, we're coming back up. Pivot, toes in, left toes out. So we're saying hello to the lunge, and we can stay forearm on thigh in the lunge or grab the block. Working that leg closer to straight, and that top arm may rise. We may bring that top hand back to the hip, bend into the knee. Feel free to take that block with you again, rising up, pivoting, toes forward, heel toe, feet in. So finding the short edge of the mat, keep right foot forward, step that left leg back, finding that lunge where the heel is pivoting a bit, perhaps to the other side. We may take both arms up and overhead, find that left wrist starting to find twist, a little more rotation over to the right. And perhaps both hands return to the hips, or maybe left hand on right thigh. We might lean forward, left forearm on the thigh. Right hip moving back, trying to root through that back heel. We might find a block and land the hand on the ground. So if your right foot is in front, maybe we go wide to the left with the block to help with balance and extend that right leg. Maybe it's a little bit of a journey. We might bend and extend. Belly button, maybe rotating to the right. The right arm may rise. And let's bring that hand back down, bending back into that front knee. Take your time, maybe hand or forearm to the thigh. We're just rewinding, hands to hips, stepping, back foot forward, shift it out. So second side when you're ready, I'm going to turn around so I continue to face you. So you're stepping that right leg back. Now maybe the heel is staying up. Maybe we're pivoting that heel to the other side, and we might go for a little bend and extend. We may take both arms up, grab that right wrist, go for length, find a little rotation towards the left. We can stay here, hands to the hips, maybe right hand on the thigh. We're starting to lean forward, forearm on the thigh. We might be finding the block, hand on the block. The block may go wide to the right. The left leg may move closer to straight. The left arm may reach up in the air. Revolved triangle pose. So bringing that top hand down, we'll put bend back into the knee. Take your time, maybe hand or forearm to the thigh. Hands may find the hips, stepping back leg forward. Shifting it out, give yourself a moment. Let's step both legs wide again. We may heel toe a little wider. Sternum may rise up. Folding forward, finding that forward bend. Heels of the hands may move back towards heels of the feet. The heels of the hands may start to rise off the ground if you enjoy that wrist forearm stretch. We may walk the hands forward, look left. Feel free to have your hands on a block or blocks. Pivot, left toes left, go for that lunge. And feel free to just visit. Maybe we're going down a little deeper. Maybe we're rolling onto that right heel. We may want to sit on a block. We may be rolling onto that right heel, perhaps palms in front of the heart. And we'll take our time, whichever variation we're in. We're rising back up, pivoting left toes in, right toes out, finding that lateral lunge. And we can absolutely stay up high. We don't have to come especially low. Maybe we're sinking a little lower. Maybe we're sliding a block back and rolling on to the heel. So just a possibility. Thinking about coming out of your particular variation. Finding our way back to the middle. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Bring feet back in. Little shift back on the heels, spiking the hips back, fan the toes, shift forward, the toes land, the heels may rise. Slowly drop the heels, hips may shift back, the toes may lift, fan, release as we move forward, the heels may rise. Let's drop the heels, find your knee bend, forearms onto the thighs. The hips may sink a little lower. We've had that head lower than the heart, so we might be feeling lightheaded. Take your time. You're welcome to drop that squat lower if you like. Rooting, rising, thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. So let's try a one-legged standing balance. Feel free to use the wall. We might have a hand on the wall. We may take one foot back, tuck the toes. We have more stretch in the toes. Maybe they've been in shoes all day. Hips forward, crown of the head high. The gaze is somewhere out at the imaginary horizon instead of at the earth. And we may bend that back knee. And we might just test the waters. How does it feel? Maybe we know that hamstring cramps really easily, and keeping the toes back and maybe bending and extending is a better option. We may release the foot, look for your strap. Now, if it is a yoga strap, make a loop, use the buckle and make a loop. Maybe you just lasso a dog leash or use the handle of the dog leash. So we may bring the top of the foot into the strap and bring the elbow to point down and then forward and then maybe up. Remember we were holding it was a while ago, we were holding the elbow pointing up over our head. So you might even be using the opposite hand to support the elbow. But if that's the case, maybe you can walk that hand down the strap and grab the tail of the strap with both hands. Take your time. You want to set your gaze on something that won't move. So I'm going to waver too. We might slide the arms higher up the tail of the strap. Breathing into back, into side ribs. And then slowly lower the foot down, release the arms. We might just take a walk as we shift sides, and maybe we just drape the strap over that other shoulder. Breathing, shifting a little side to side, sometimes with those standing balances, we are holding the breath a little bit. So stepping the second foot back, toes tucked under. Low toes. Feeling the stretch through the sole of the foot. This can be plenty. We might try bending and extending. Yeah, just checking, make sure we're not going to get a hamstring cramp when we lift that leg. And we can decide to omit the strap, but maybe we do lasso the foot. Elbow down, elbow forward. The elbow may point up to the ceiling. We might even hold the elbow with the opposite hand. Balance can definitely be different side to side. Maybe we find the tail, watch out that that tail isn't going to hit you in the face at all. And the hands may slide up a little higher. Breathing into side ribs. Where's the head going? Is the chin collapsing towards the chest? Try to lift the crown of the head up. And when you've had enough fun with that, slowly slide the foot carefully down and maybe step out of that loop so it's not a trip hazard. You are welcome to stay standing. If you have a balance ball, the big inflatable balls that you can sit on, you may want to sit on that or sit on a corner of an ottoman. I'm going to sit on the block so that you can see my arms. So you might even just come to a squat. You might remain standing. So find your strap long and maybe hold one end of it so we know that end isn't going to knock you in the face at all. And we'll take the strap up and overhead. Now, If you're looking in your device, we're trying to find what looks like level. Sometimes we've got one elbow bent and we don't even realize it until we check our reflection. So we're trying to find that level position and draw the arms back. You're finding your sweet spot. Let the arms rise up and take a little rest. Let the arms release. We may reset the hands a little wider, a bit more narrow. Let the arms come up and find what feels like level. And if you have a way to check it, you might just check because sometimes something feels level and then we look and whoops, not really. Let the strap, the arms start to move back. If it's too much, maybe widen the distance between the hands. And let's come all the way back up. And feel free, there's a lot going on with that. You are welcome to just repeat that. We may grab opposite elbows and take both arms up and overhead. We might find a little wiggle through the ribs, trying to create a little space between the forearms and the crown of the head. And perhaps we bring the hands down and we might find a block. So if you have the wooden blocks or the very heavy cork blocks, maybe use a tissue box or just hold your elbows again. We don't want something really heavy that will hurt if it lands on your toes. So you might have hands on your block and take that block overhead and then notice, are the elbows going wide? So for some of us, the elbows are going to start pretty wide, and even just moving them in a tiny bit. It might not make a big visual difference, but it may make a huge sensation difference. Some of us might be working those elbows in even closer as though the block is also between the elbows. We have the forearms over our head. And then perhaps we reach that block up just to check and go for a little rebend. Where are the elbows? Did they go wide again? Can we hug them in? And we'll re-extend and release, let that go. So you're welcome to change your position if you've been standing or squatting and you need to switch it up, please do. Let's find the right hand. Navigate that right elbow back. We did this earlier. We might go back and forth. We may hold, so this is a possibility. Second arm, just saying hello again. So we might go back and forth. We can stick with that. We might hold. We may take both arms wide and let's dip the left elbow under the right and give ourselves a hug. We can stay with that. We may bring the backs of the hands towards one another, perhaps fingerprints to opposite palm. The elbows may rise up. The elbows may move forward. The shoulders may drop. Now, perhaps we take the elbows to one side and the chin opposite. You can always try both sides. Maybe you've landed on one side and you just love the way it feels. Try to do the other side next time. So we'll open those arms back up, swapping the arm that you have underneath. So we're finding that hug, that embrace. Maybe just a little shift, lean side to side or rounding in. Maybe the backs of the hands connect. Fingerprints to opposite palm, the elbows may rise. Perhaps forearms forward. Maybe we're taking the elbows to one side and the chin opposite. And releasing, coming back to center. We might unfurl the arms, let the arms go wide and high, connect the palms, thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. So if we're squatting or standing, we'll think about coming down closer to the ground. And let's check out what we have nearby for props. So maybe you have a couple of blocks that you're going to put off to the right side. You could use a big cushion, a bolster. You could put your blanket in the shoulder stand fold or roll it up, A roller would work well too. So we'll have a prop starting off over to the right side of the mat. And we'll invite ourselves down onto back body. So we may take a moment and bring the knees back into the chest and perhaps just give that little rock side to side. So if your body is giving you cues that maybe the low back, the sacrum, feeling really sensitive today, maybe you want an even higher prop, maybe you want the blocks underneath your blanket. Let's drop the feet, lift the hips, sway the hips a little left. We'll bring the knees back in. We might be finding those little wobbles, little rocks, self-massaging the low back. Tipping the knees over to the right. Now they may land on the prop or props plural. You might put props between your knees and between your ankles. We may press into that right elbow and scooch the right arm, right shoulder a little more to the right and perhaps expand the right arm, the left arm. If you prefer to keep bend in that left elbow or raise the left arm, please do. Nose goes where the neck will be most comfortable. Let the eyes rest. Let the belly slide towards the ground. If you feel like you need a little more weight, you might decide to place that right hand on top of left leg. Breathing into those sky or ceiling side ribs. If this is the most delicious twist today, stay a while longer. We may be bringing the feet back to land, lifting and swaying the hips to the second side. We might be moving our prop over to the left, rocking the knees into the chest and then tipping both knees to that second side. We may press into the left elbow and scooch the left elbow, left shoulder more left, maybe expanding both arms, what feels best for you. Find the place of ease for your neck. Perhaps adding the weight of your arm to that top side leg. Full breathing into the belly. Can we find more ease in the muscles of the jaw? You are welcome to stay longer. Perhaps bringing both knees back to the middle, landing the feet and swaying the hips back towards midline. Heel toe the feet wide, let the knees tip in. Let the eyes rest. Hands may rest on the belly. As you feel settled, again, consider the props that are within easy reach. We may just step the right foot towards the left, lift the hips and sway the hips left. We may bend that right elbow and carefully tip onto right side body. We may press the top hand into the ground, coming up to a seat just long enough to perhaps grab our prop. So maybe it is the folded blanket. Maybe you're going to roll up your mat. Maybe you've got the big cushion, the bolster. I'm going to use the bolster. So we may sit on the very end of our prop and very carefully tip backwards, bringing the head and the shoulders. So you might just kind of walk the shoulders down off of your prop. Again, it could be the rolled mat. So feet may stay grounded, knees bent. Option to take the feet wide and let the knees tip in. If the low back consents, we might be sliding the legs long. So the larger your prop is, the poofier your prop is, the more intense this may be in your low back. The arms could go wide, head centered, so nose tip towards the ceiling. We want this to feel restful. So if your low back just says, no thanks, go ahead and re-bend the knees. Every day is different. Let the eyes rest. And you can certainly stay here. This might be the perfect rest position. You've given it a try, but maybe you need just a little something else. You might bend the knees, separate the knees, press into the feet just enough to push the prop out from under your back, and then rotate the prop so that you can then drape your legs, your knees over the prop. Settling into rest for these next few moments. The breath may deepen. We may be returning movement to toes. Perhaps run the tongue across the fronts of the teeth. We may return movement to fingers and circle wrists. Perhaps press down through the heels, reach up through the arms, and exhale, letting it go. We may bend each knee, pressing the hips over to one side and rolling to rest on side body. Pressing top hand into the ground to support ourselves back up to a seat. Maybe bringing that second favorite leg on top. Sitting with the breath, eyes at rest. We may be connecting palms before the heart, rubbing hands together. hovering hands before closed eyes. Take a deep inhale and let it go. Rubbing hands together, place them over the heart. Deep inhale. Releasing. Rubbing hands together, place them over the belly. Deep inhale. Letting it go. Resting a hand to the belly and a hand to the heart. Sealing our practice with sound. Deep inhale through the nose. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this practice. Please let me know if anyone has any questions.